to get that heady mix of acting and philanthropy, and when it comes to business, if you put all three together, there's one name that comes to mind, and that is Sonu Sood. It's such a pleasure to have him on ET Now. Great to have you with us.
Thank you so much. You have been very kind, man. God bless you.
Sonu, tell us, how do you manage to do this? At one level, it's acting, and it's something that we've known you for the longest
And
period
now
of
directing
time.
is also happening. Yeah, direction. I said direction is also
And
happening.
direction is happening.
And writing also.
And writing and production as well.
Yes.
So then when you have all of this going, the headlines will call out Sonu Sood for all the philanthropic work that he
Yes.
does. Why is it that we're seeing so much less of you in movies and so much more that we're hearing about in philanthropy?
I would say, I'm an engineer who came to Mumbai with a dream to become an actor. Okay, was a part of close to 100 movies in 13 different languages. Still doing films. But I would say connecting with the common man, bringing a smile on an unknown face is much more bigger than a 500 crore budgeted box office number or 1,000 crore box office numbers. You bring a smile on an unknown face, you feel that this is what you always wanted to do. And I'm doing Fateh also. I'm directing that film and producing. So that is one cinema I always wanted to do from past 18, 20 years. So all I've learned in the craft, in all these years, I put all those experiences together, and Fateh is ready. All I can promise you, when you see Fateh, you'll say this is something not seen ever.
So the idea was always to graduate like this. How much is it playing out to plan?
No, I would say there's someone up there who's making all those plans. I'm just following the guidelines. But I remember when I did my first film, so all the people who were there on the sets, he said, Sonu, one day you're going to direct and produce this. I said, no, that's not my cup of tea. But I think sometimes destiny brings you to the place you belong. I've loved directing Fateh, and I'll be directing my next also soon. I'm already writing that film. So, I don't know, God is making me do all this, when I pack up at 6 p.m. on the set. So I leave home at 10:30 because I have to meet people all who come there for their help. I have to meet people who queue in front of my houses. So I never feel tired. I sometimes feel tired shooting, but I never feel tired meeting them. So I think that's what my place of happiness is.
I know that the pandemic changed a lot of things, our outlook towards lifestyle. A lot of people said a lot would change, the way we do business as well. I did so many shows talking about how the business of movie making is going to change because cinema halls are going to shut down, OTTs are going to be the kingmakers.
Yeah.
Where do you think we stand today? How did it change for you particularly? Because COVID was the time that we saw you that much more active on this entire building of a charity foundation.
I would say with all these different medias coming, definitely it's a bigger opportunity for all the technicians, actors to show their talent. The stories which you can't tell on those cinema halls, you can tell on these OTT platforms. So yes, but yeah, the awareness about cinema has taken to a next level. A guy sitting in a small village in UP, Bihar, Jharkhand knows what cinema is because he's been exposed to international cinema also. So you have to make good cinema, otherwise people are not going to take you seriously. So I think that keeps all the actors and technicians also on the toes. Brother, make a good cinema, otherwise this is not your space.
So was that your cue as well? To go that much more into writing, into direction? How did it change things for you?
I've written many films, I've acted, I've written many dialogues for many films. Those dialogues, those stories have won big awards also. I never took the credit. So all the technicians that I work, they know that I write pretty well. That's what they feel. But I think when you're doing your own cinema, which you're directing, so what you missed in the films that you acted, because you were not a part of the direction team, so I think that's what I could get fulfilled in Fateh. The shots, the transitions from one scene to other, the cuts that are happening, which we always see in those foreign cinemas. So I think I've tried to put those things together, and I hope people enjoy.
Yes, we are looking forward to it, absolutely, to know about Fateh, which is, of course, something that is in the pipeline right now.
Yeah.
So what's the plan in making a film of that kind?
I would say, I remember a lot of my friends, even my family members used to say, why sometimes Indian cinema is not looking like that. The Hollywood films that we see, the camera work, the lighting, the way the narrative happens, the way the transitions from one scene to other happens. So I had no answer to that. So I said, till I make one film, I don't know how it's going to happen. So I tried with Fateh all those things. I got a DOP who was Italian. I got the action director who did, Marvel Studios films, Fast and Furious, Jurassic Park. So we got all those teams. We created the shots, which for one shot we practiced for 2.5 months. So I think we have tried to create a cinema which I always wanted to be associated with. Now it's up to the people to decide how good it is. But all I can say is whoever has been associated with Fateh, they'll proudly say that this is my film.
So the opportunity has arrived now, and you're making the most of it. But opportunities, I see a lot of people in the world of films moving towards business. It's not like you're not aware of this or you haven't been part of it. In fact, you're doing it much more actively. How have you attuned yourself to this growing interest that many actors have to the world of business? Because I see a lot of startup investments. What are you concentrating on?
No, I've done a lot of investments in all these startups. They've grown to a next level also. But like I said, the business DNA was always there in me because my father also had a showroom in Punjab, Moga, a cloth showroom. So he always taught me one thing: if a customer comes to buy a dupatta, and if you are able to sell him or her a dupatta, you're not a good businessman. You're a good businessman if someone comes to buy a dupatta, you sell a suit with the dupatta. So then you're a good businessman. So I think that's what my school was when I was a kid. And now when I became an actor, I thought, I'm not going to limit myself just in front of the camera or behind the camera. I have to explore. I'm a good learner. So yes, whether you talk about social media app, we started Explorer, which is one of the most, an app which is doing so well. We've got more than 10 million subscribers on the platform. Spice Money, where we created thousands of jobs. Ilaj India, we're treating people. Intercell, where we're giving education to people. So I think I'm there to learn. I'm there to make mistakes. I'm there to rule, I would say.
So when you talk about business, this coming together of the entrepreneurship bug, along with the ability to mix a social cause with it.
Yeah.
Is that an important piece for you? And how do you manage to mix it?
It's very, very important. I remember when the first endorsement during the pandemic came, my only rule to do that brand was you have to give back to the society. So it was a mobile brand where we donated 5,500 smartphones. Then I signed a steel brand where we made many houses for the poor. Then I signed a light brand where almost 16 to 17 villages in UP, Bihar, Jharkhand, we lit those villages. A paint brand, we painted the houses for all the poor people. So any brand that I've done, there has to be a charitable angle to that, then only I make it happen. So we've been doing successfully and I hope to keep this journey on.
And we are meeting at a mall right now.
Yeah.
And you're finding some reason to be here, which is also mixing a social cause?
Of course, because when we are shopping, I used to love shopping, hanging around the mall from since morning to evening, and your time flies. But in that moment, we have never realized that if we shop a little bit, what if a part goes to someone's life, change a life, you bring a smile on an unknown face. So I think that's the idea behind this, that every time you buy anything, will change a life, will give someone education, will treat someone, will save a life. So I think that was a mission behind putting Sood Charity Foundation and Film Mills together, that you shop, we'll get the blessings on your front and we'll make sure that it reaches you.